Hey y'all, it's Crystal. Welcome back. So today, just a quick little book chat. I'm going to chat about Wisteria Cottage by Robert M. Coates. I finished this up recently and I really loved this book. Honestly, I enjoyed the heck out of it. So let's chat about it. So Wisteria Cottage originally was released in 1948. And when I think about what's in here, I'm like, whoa, okay, that's good stuff, right? But Valancourt Books re-released this in 2020 with this gorgeous cover. I mean, how moody is that, right? So good. And I got this in my Nightworms package. So if you got your Nightworms and you got yours too, and if you haven't read it yet, you gotta read it because it's really good. So, gosh, where do I even start? It's so good. Let me adjust myself here. So our main character that we follow, it's a small group of characters, first of all. There's just like really four characters that we really focus on. Our main character's name is Richard, and he's kind of a young man who we learn right in the beginning of the book he's got some issues, definitely some mental health issues, and he has definitely had a violent past. He has spent time in an asylum, all that kinds of stuff. So yeah. So at this time, he lives in New York City, just a small kind of apartment. He works in a bookshop, just kind of making his way through. And he kind of happens upon this woman named Florence, who she's an older woman, kind of middle-aged, and she has two grown daughters, Louisa and Eleanor. And for whatever reason, Florence has just taken a liking to our dear Richard and kind of pulled him in and started including him in things, and he's hanging around a lot and that kind of thing. So Richard will often just kind of set off for walks and be gone for a few days. And one of these times he went out to, I'm guessing it's like Long Island, and he discovers Wisteria Cottage. And Florence has been looking, for like a place for the summer to get out of the heat of the city, And so he stumbles onto Wisteria Cottage, just slightly isolated, backed up to some sand dunes and the beach. You can go swimming. Just a nice little cottage, Oh, he's like, this is perfect. I'll let them know about this, and they can come out here for the summer, and maybe I can come too, kind of thing. Because again, he's kind of latched himself on. And so yeah, that's basically what happens. He has discovered this place, and they're like, cool beans, we're gonna go head out there for the summer. And so, Richard basically comes out there like every weekend. Yeah, it's a thing. It seems fine, actually. Everyone's good with it. Until it's not, right? So we know this is not going to have a happy ending because we learn a little bit about Richard's past, like I said, in the beginning of the book. So we really watch Richard, sort of slow descent as his kind of facade begins to crack, right? And it was just really good, like I said. So it is how a guy with mental illness is portrayed as being a villain kind of thing, but I think you just have to keep it in mind that it's written in 1948. I think written for 1948, I thought it was handled quite wonderfully, actually. The writing is fantastic. It is very descriptive and not descriptive in like a setting type of way where you just get descriptions and descriptions and descriptions of place. It's more just a descriptive of character and feeling. You get a lot of kind of inner thoughts of Richard. He's our POV, our main POV. His inner thoughts, his inner feelings, and it just it just will it has these wonderful lines in here. I'll read a couple of them because I'm not a big marker of lines, but I read some of these passages and I was just kind of floored. So anyway, what else was I gonna say? Yeah, it was written great. Let's see. Let's just read a couple of these sections. Okay. For a moment, he hated them all. But I mustn't get excited, he told himself. He knew even then that he couldn't let himself go as he'd like to. The worst thing of it all was that he still was an outsider, a nobody, and if he let himself go, he really let them have a taste of his temper. It would only draw them closer together and lead to worse disaster. I think that right there pretty much kind of sums up. Like I said, he has this love-hate relationship with this family. He wants to be a part of them so badly. Like you could feel how much he wants to be included. You know, wants to be thought of as a brother, as a son, all of that. And then at the same time, he will just look at say Louisa, particularly gets a lot of it, looks at her with such disdain that even that is very palpable too. So it's a strange relationship that he has, and feelings about him that he has sort of internally that we see him battle with also. Let's see, let's try to find something else. So like this right here, all he knew, and he didn't know that very clearly, consciously, was that he wanted to get something done, to make the Hackett family his family, and to make himself part of it, and somehow to fit Eleanor and Louisa and Florence around himself as the core of it. Again, just sums up his ultimate goals, what he's trying to accomplish by really inserting himself in their lives. And because it comes up often, like, I found the cottage, like, you owe me. So I got a weird sun thing coming in. I found this cottage, it belongs to me. And they're like, well, I mean, we're paying for it, so it gets really tense. I get towards the end, of course. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to give too much away, so let me think here. All right. They made free with him because to their minds he wasn't there. He was a no one, a nobody, and with Louisa at least, and to a certain extent Florence, Eleanor he accepted. He would not have been surprised if either of them walked naked past him in the house, unconcernedly, as Louisa at least had done on the few times when they had gone swimming without clothes at night on the beach. That's one sentence, but it's just this sort of obsessiveness that he just has with them. And then we don't get a lot of it, but there's some kind of history with his mom and like women being evil, and it's a lot going on in this book. And so this line I thought was brilliant. Perhaps fright is the real purifier, he thought. I don't know. That's a good line. So, man, I'm telling you, I just thought this was really well written. I really loved this book. I mean, at times, okay, one thing that the man uses a lot of parentheses. And sometimes it's like parentheses within parentheses, which I don't even, like, can you do that? With parentheses, within a parentheses, within a parentheses? I guess so, because Mr. Coates did that in here. But at times it was a little jarring at times, and it is kind of throughout the book. That's kind of one thing of the writing that was maybe a little much. But honestly, overall, I just thought this was really good. Very atmospheric, good exploration of mental health. I think if you think about it from the time period of 1948 when it was written, really good kind of insight into the mind of Richard. We're trying to figure out what is going on. Why is he feeling the ways that he does? Why is he doing the things that he's doing? And again, as you get towards the end and, things really start to make a turn, it gets pretty dark. So I recommend this. I really recommend it. I just thought it was fantastic. I think it's worth your time for sure. Track it down to give it a read. I thought it was great. So let me know if you dig into it and decide to read it and what you thought about it. There's some kind of mixed-ish reviews, you know, but yeah, I'm in the pro column for sure. Wisteria Cottage. I mean, I'd say like 4.5 stars. I'm gonna take a half star off for all them damn parentheses, but but yeah, I thought it was damn good. So give it a go. Wisteria Cottage by Robert M. Coates. Check it out. That's gonna do it for me. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Until next time. Bye, friends.